And we are live. Let's get it popping.
Come on to the bar.
Yeah. We're a little late with the City Wreckin Wednesdays, so we're going to do it live. You ready? See if somebody's going to join us today. All right, we'll just go in.
Come on to the box.
Hello, YouTube. Cheers and welcome to the basement. My name is Bruce Lively.
Once again, I'm B-Boy Slim.
And the basement is the first daily hip-hop debate show. From Tuesday through Friday, we tackle the most intriguing topics in hip-hop culture and the world around it. Welcome back, basement family. And before we say anything else, we want to send our prayers, our thoughts, our love, and our money. Do not forget that. To the victims of Hurricane Harvey in Houston. They're going through a lot right now. And I know it seems many times like it's inconsequential to do a silly show like this at a time like this. But if we provide just a few people with a little distraction from the unimaginable pain and loss, you know what I'm saying, or just make you laugh, then today, that's what we're here for. Now, that being said, today we're catching up on the City Wreckin Wednesdays, and it's a good one. As always, City Wreckin Wednesdays is brought to you by the Fleetwood Spice Collection. For a spice-changing experience, give the Fleetwood Spice Collection a try. Big, bold flavors unlike anything you've tried before. Trust me, the Fleetwood Spice Collection, y'all, it's time to change the spice. So today's two cities, Houston versus Brooklyn.
H-Town, I got y'all.
Oh, man. Let's get it. Lego.
I know you probably saying this guy with the New York accent, you expect him to be debating Brooklyn.
You know, you always get the New York cities, man, so it's time I do mine.
Bruce is gonna debate that Brooklyn has come out with better music, better hip-hop than Houston.
Well, my actual criteria is going to be lyricism, cultural importance. That's it.
It's good that you broke down criteria first.
Lyricism and cultural importance.
I want to start by
hip-hop.
saying and mentioning that Houston is actually responsible for a huge portion of the culture that exists to this day.
Okay.
When we speak about this lean that the kids are doing right now, whether it's for good or for bad, we could debate that on another day. But
that's unfortunate.
But it's a fact right now that, you know, when you hear the kids talking about this lean and the scissor,
I see you, Sean.
They pouring up their cup. That comes from Houston. Another thing that they helped pioneer was the independent movement. Period. As far as putting your mixtapes out and selling them independently. They helped create that movement with the that whole wave that DJ Screw had back in the day, the screwed up tapes, which was their own style of blending music and slowing it down, chopping it up. I would have to check in, but I'm pretty sure that still exists to this day too. But they helped pioneer that movement. And like I said, just on an independent level, the dudes that came from that circle, the Flips, the Slim Thugs that came out that Swisher House and were understudies of DJ Screw. Independently, they helped pioneer that.
Okay.
Now, with that being said, let's get into a few.
I got something to say about that, but we'll go ahead.
Let's get into a few of them. Let's start from the beginning, actually. Little Flip. Yeah, we haven't heard Little Flip in a while. Since the whole beef with T.I. and all of that, sure. But let's not forget that before there was a confrontation with T.I., Little Flip was a platinum selling artist. The Game Over single that he came out with on the Underground Legend album, Certified. He had hits like This Is the Way We Ball. You know, style is what I thought of most when you think of a Little Flip. You know, it's just Houston. They're not particularly known for getting extra lyrical or whatever. More so the knock in the music that's gonna knock in your Cadillac and your old school, and they pretty much ride those beats, and they do it well. That's pretty much their own style and brand of music, and we liked it, we loved it, as the numbers reflected. Excuse me, I started with Little Flip, but you can't mention Houston without saying the Ghetto Boys, and that's a fact.
Okay.
We all know what they meant to the game, their contribution.
Call me the gangster of love.
You know, for me, as a kid, I was a little man.
I got you.
And started out with My Mind's Playing Tricks on Me. Which, ironically, is the one that actually went platinum. The name of the album was We Can't Be Stopped. And, of course, we all know that the career Scarface went on to have solo, as a soloist. His contribution, I think, is immeasurable to the game, because a lot of your favorite rappers would tell you, you know, when you ask them who were you influenced by and who did you listen to early on, dudes like Beanie Siegel or DMX would tell you Scarface. His storytelling that's always, you know, stood apart from Scarface. Like, he would tell that even my mind playing tricks on me. Like, he always. I mean, his storytelling, next to maybe Slick Rick, you know, there's a couple of them that do it well, but the pain and detail that Scarface always put in his songs and the message behind it, second to none. Yeah, Scarface and the Ghetto Boys, like I said, they went platinum on the effort of We Can't Be Stopped. How about Mike Jones?
Who?
Mike Jones. You know.
Who?
We can't forget about Mike, you know. Whatever you might want to say about him being lyrical or lack thereof, whatever you may want to say, the guy was hot for a few summers. He went platinum. And then ended up starting his own record label, Ice Age Records.
Who's from Ice Age Records?
Mike Jones.
Right. Okay.
Mike Jones.
Okay.
Mike Jones.
That's all I'm asking.
And he's not the only dude that's the best artist on his own label. But we'll get into that another day. But Mike Jones, man, y'all remember. If you didn't know nothing else, you know the name, Mike Jones. This guy's made TV cameos just off of the strength of, if you Google him, it'll say, who? Mike
Jones.
That's all I'm going to say about that. Mike Jones, y'all. See what Bruce talking about with Brooklyn. Man.
Check it out, people. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Houston. I believe there was a time that we had another City Wreckin' Wednesdays, and I picked Houston. You say, you know, Scarface, and he had the message.
No question.
No question. You say the independent music, they helped to pioneer that.
That's
sure, no question. But they weren't the first, nor the last, nor the best at either one of those. You see, I'm going to talk about lyricism and cultural importance, which includes all of that. When we say Brooklyn, people, except for the Bronx, the Boogie Down Bronx, where it started, some may say Queens, but we know it's the Bronx. Except for that, we're looking at historical importance beyond measure from the beginning. And I plan on showing you this importance, this cultural importance and the lyricism, how it's way better than Houston, without, hopefully, if I have to, I will, but without naming Jay-Z, Big Daddy Kane, Mos Def, Biggie, and AZ, which last week you told me was the most underrated rapper of all time. Am I right?
Who?
AZ.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
You say, Bruce, how can you do this without naming those 5 people? Well, listen, I'm going to start by saying all of those people are on your top 10.
That's a fact.
Winner top Top 10.
Jay and Biggie, hands down.
Jay, Biggie, Big Daddy Kane needs to be in your top 10. If he's not, it's a problem. And now that AZ is in your top 10 because you realized he was the most underrated and you may have forgotten him, I'm going to do it without naming them. Let's start here. Out of Brownsville, Master Ace. Master Ace. Listen to the album Take a Look Around. Listen to the album Slaughterhouse. It changed music. This is in 1990. This is 1990. In 1993, Slaughterhouse with the Master Ace Incorporated.
God knows it's hip-hop.
This is hip-hop. This is the beginnings. Master Ace could change his flow in any way you wanted to. Lyricism, that's there. Cultural importance, that's there. Another guy, since we're there, and we're in Brownsville, walking around amongst the dirty towers, the pissy streets, the wolves. There's another one that came out the stoop. His name is Sean Price, of a group named Boot Camp Click. And then later on, Helter Skelter with Rock. I'm not even going to mention Rock. We're just going to say Sean Price. How much did he change the culture? How much does he mean to the culture? Rest in peace, Sean Price. If you need to know for sure that this guy just doesn't do the 1-2, because he did that a lot. He did the 1-2 rap, and he was great at it. But just in case you needed something else to know, he could also match lyric for lyric and style for style. Listen to the song. Listen to the song he did featuring Illa G and Royal Flush. Just type it in. Sean Price, Illa G, and Royal Flush. Since we're there, let's go to Buckshot. Listen, I told you I'm not going to name Jay-Z, Big Daddy Kane, Mos Def, Biggie, and AZ, who are all in people's top 10. If not your top 15 is a problem. We said Master Ace, Sean Price, Buckshot. Buckshot. Tell me, do you know who Buckshot is? Black Moon? Who's the other guy? We said this earlier.
5 Feet Accelerated.
Who?
For those of you who don't know, that's the other member of Black Moon. Can't forget Drew High and DJ Evil D either.
I remember Evil D. You might as well have said Mike Jones. I don't know. But Buckshot.
People forget about 5 Feet, but that was the other guy in Black Moon, man.
All right. Before we go there, let's pass over AZ. Now, when you say that the independent, when it started, yeah, I feel you. Houston has a big-time independent scene. But Duck Down Records is an independent record label.
That's a fact.
And everybody who I just mentioned who are staples in hip-hop since 1990, some before that, till now,
was on that record label?
Are on that independent record label, period. You ever listen to your boy, Funkmaster Flex? He was a part of that back then, too. With Buckshot. Listen, people. The importance, the cultural importance, it dwarfs anything that we can say. And I'm going to only the secondary people, the people you may not know. What about X-Clan? What about Brother J of X-Clan? Yeah, because of the content that he had, you might say, well, I wasn't feeling it, or I was feeling it. It was too pro-black. It was too political. The dude can rap circles over anybody, period. Chubb Rock. From Kingston, Jamaica, by way of Brooklyn. #1 hit singles, Treat 'Em Right, 1990. The Chubster, 1991.
Treat Me Right.
Treat 'Em Right. Ooh, yeah, Chubb Rock.
That was my joint.
Just the Two of Us, 1992. Lost in the Storm, 1992. All of these are #1 hit singles. And since we're talking about the Crooklyn Dodgers, Special Ed. I mean, listen, I have not said these people who are in your top 10. I'm just going to the secondary people. MC Light. When you talk about cultural influence, cultural importance, more than her rapping, more than her being probably the best female rapper, the first one to come out, which was before which was before Queen Latifah. Besides just that, her leadership, philanthropy. Do you know that, like, she founded so many organizations to help black women in hip-hop, black people? I mean, listen, this is it. I'm done. I got one more for you. And I've named people who you weren't even thinking of. Before you get to the best of Houston, I just named the people you weren't even thinking of. The last one, his name is Adam Yauch. Who's Adam Yauch, you say? Well, you don't know his name, but he does have a diamond album, a 2-time platinum album, another 2-time platinum album, another 3-time platinum album, another 3-time platinum album, and another platinum album. You may know him as MCA from the Beastie Boys. 1987 till daggone last year, basically. These are the underground. This is the underground. The cultural importance is undeniable. The lyricism of a Master Ace, the Chubb Rocks, the MC Light, undeniable. That's the case. I rest it right there.
Funny you should mention platinum. Because if nothing else, this is what Houston does. And as I mentioned, they help pioneer the whole independent is a norm now. It's regular as far as the music industry because the shift and you have social media and different ways to put your music out. This is before this. This is prior to that. These guys went around their city, which is one of the biggest cities on the map, and they went and did their thing independently and did numbers to where the mainstream and the masses had to pay attention to them. As I mentioned with Mike Jones, tipping on Fofos, who's Mike Jones, platinum. I mentioned the Ghetto Boys earlier. I want to give mention to Willie D too, and not because of any records that he sold or him, his status as far as the amount of records that amount of records that he sold, but because recently he came out with a song and it's a 2-part song. Well, he made two versions to the song, and he spoke on cooning. Now, some people might say, Houston,
Part 1 and 2.
Houston
Y'all
is
check it
all
out.
about sipping the lean and the chopped and screwed music, or just making music that you can ride in your Cadillac to. That would be false and inaccurate. Willie D is someone, OG, if that's what you want to call him, old school, from the Ghetto Boys.
See you, Sean.
Who chose to give a message and give light to what was going on out here. And not just to the injustices that black people suffer on a day-to-day, but the people that mock it or make fun of it or in support of the people who create the injustice. And those are what we call coons.
Coons.
He has a song, Part 1 and Part 2, where he goes into the Charles Barkley, Stacey Dashes of the world. And I don't have to get into politics and the nonsense that they've spewed over the last few months or maybe a year and a half or so, But he goes into detail with that. And, y'all go check that out. Part 1, Part 2, Cooning. I'm not going to forget about the underground scene, in which, like I said, it's hard when you say underground in Houston, you pretty much saying Houston anyway, because underground kings are from Port Arthur, Texas, but as we know, largely affiliated with Jay Prince, which is the OG of Texas.
I thought you said he wasn't going to mention them.
I gave mention because of their name itself, not even because of their music. Underground kings, and this is what Houston is always represent when you hear a Houston artist, is the underground. So when I mentioned Little Kiki the Don, Slim Thuggers of the world, these are probably artists that you may have heard of, but made a living on the underground. Like Slim Thug, it's a fact. This guy was rich before you probably even knew his name. Just doing his music independently and like I said, selling out independently. That's a fact. Before Slim Thugs, his first album was named already platinum. Just to give you a understanding of what I'm talking about. Like, he named his first studio album already platinum, meaning he already had platinum money. Independent, y'all. Chameleonaire. Now, I mentioned the underground artist. This is an artist that actually went to the surface, took off, and his music was out of here. He turned pop quickly. Riding Dirty actually won a Grammy. The LP for that, which was Camilitary, went platinum. So, I said all that to say that Houston has made a large impact in the game. It's had a large impact, and as I mentioned from the top of the show, they still have influence with the kids, and the kids may not even know why they sip this now or why. It's a Houston culture. It all comes from the Houston culture, and like I said, that's not to be underrated or undermined by any way. We could talk about that. Brooklyn probably has a more extensive history than Houston as far as making hip hop. Everybody knows hip hop was made in New York or started in New York, but over I would say the mid to late '90s to today, Houston has had a large, if not, one of the largest impacts in the game. And like I said, they did it their way. This is something that you can't take from them. They did it exactly the way that they wanted to do it. They came out with the music that they wanted to come out with. And we appreciate that. I hope I didn't forget anybody or do anybody injustice. I know Houston's going through a lot right now, and I just personally wanted to shed some light and maybe shout them out, like Bruce mentioned at the top of the show. If you could give one person a smile, or like, damn, he's shouting out my city or whatever, then we feel like we played a part or we did our job. So, yeah, it wasn't just about, comparing whose music was hotter than others. We definitely wanted to shout out Houston and give light to what was going on out there.
Definitely. And you know what? When you mention Willie D and how he mentions the Coons and the song about them, it couldn't come from a better city. These people have been in the struggle since the beginning and still talking about it now. So our prayers are with them. But more than our prayers, let's not forget, we send our money. If you can go out there to help, do that. I plan on trying to do that. I'm waiting on a bus to be able to take me there, and if I can make the time, I will. But if you can't, send the money. But let's get back to the debate. I hear you. Great wrap up. They played a big part. But you know who played a bigger part in the 90s? There was a group named Wu-Tang Clan. GZA, Brooklyn. ODB, Brooklyn. GZA, platinum, Liquid Swords. Gold Beneath the Surface, platinum. ODB, where's your money? What was that one? Platinum, whatever it was. Check it out, people. Brooklyn, the cultural importance. I'm not gonna downplay Ghetto Boys. I'm not gonna downplay Willie D. I'm not going to downplay UGK and lump him into Houston too. But the importance of the MC Lyte, he hasn't mentioned one female rapper yet. The MC Lyte. The fighter, actor, activist MC Lyte. When we say GZA, then we talk about the X-Clan. When, before Willie D was talking about cooning, X-Clan was talking about Africanism, how to not be a coon. Every one of them in there. All the way from Brother J to Professor X. Okay? Listen. We're talking about cultural importance. We're talking about hip-hop icons. And I did not mention the 5 people that are in your top 5 list when we talk about lyricism. I can easily mention them for you if you want to talk about diamond, double, triple, platinum.
Everybody I mentioned.
Yeah, not one of them is diamond. Jay-Z is.
Pretty much went platinum.
Not one of them is in your top 10. Jay-Z, Big Daddy Kane, Mos Def, Biggie, AZ. At least 3 of them are.
I wasn't going to mention Jay-Z.
Well, I'm just saying, if we go in there, I'm going there. I said what I did.
You see this guy?
I'll tell you what.
Don't worry about it.
Beastie Boys. Let me read it again. 1, diamond. Double platinum, triple platinum. Without mentioning the other dudes. That's all I'm saying.
Don't worry about it. You know who I didn't mention? That was Paul Wall. Platinum. Y'all may remember the song, Sitting Sideways, them boys in the days.
Mos Def Grammy. Biggie.
Boys in the days.
Did you guys know
Shit,
Biggie had
sour
4
weed.
albums?
Boys in the days.
You thought it was only 2.
Paul Wall, y'all. You know, you can't mention Houston and forget about Paul Wall.
Facts. But I just want to say this. An unknown fact. Biggie had 4 albums. He had posthumous albums, 2 of them. After his death, he had one called Born Again and one called Duets. The Final Chapter. Both of them platinum. The dude was dead and had platinum albums. If you want to know who had the most importance in hip-hop and the best lyrics, go down that list I just gave you of multiple heat bringers, of multiple platinum artists, all the way from Beastie Boys to Chubb Rock, from innovators like Master Ace to Sean Price.
Well, maybe
the
important
gangsters
to the East Coast.
No,
But
to hip
But
hop.
definitely not more important to the South.
To hip hop.
Because you ask somebody who's the most important group and iconic group out the South, Scarface and the Ghetto Boys are coming up. And that's
Ask
a fact.
Scarface who they listened to
And that's a fact.
when they were writing
Same
their
Public
raps.
Enemy. Chuck D's from Long Island. But anyway, I did that on another show too. But anyway, yeah,
Who wins?
you know.
It's up to
Y'all
y'all.
let us know, yeah. Houston, Brooklyn, Houston. Y'all let us know. And give us feedback too. Did we represent them right? You know, did we leave out anybody? Let us know. Who y'all think won a debate too?
I think a lot of people forget Beastie Boys too when we're doing this type
That's
of
a
debate.
fact.
You know, your buck shots
See,
might
people
get
don't usually
forgotten.
mention. Forget about that. The Beastie Boys are from Brooklyn, probably because they was the white punk rock group. But they from Brooklyn too.
Innovators. Listen, you guys tell us who won this thing, man. You got to tell us who won because this is a big one. And shout out to Houston. We're here for you, man. We hope that you maybe on your cell phone or on your smartphone you watch this and get a little smile. That's all it's here for. But leave them comments right down there in the comment section because we shout you out. We got shout outs today. Sinafuru Alkubalan said Slim's emotionalism is cringeworthy, and this was on Tuesday's show. How hard you went about Floyd Mayweather. He said it was cringeworthy. I almost couldn't watch. I can only imagine how others received it. And he said, and Bruce, you have to stop feeding the beast. You two didn't even let the guest speaker speak. Peace, kings.
We appreciate your comments,
We
Chad.
appreciate the comments, man. I see you, Sean. What'd you say? So we embrace UGK from the PA, Texas. Okay, I guess were you from Houston, Sean? Must be. But he said they embrace UGK. That's what's up. Anthony Juarez. This isn't talking about, oh yeah, this is Memphis versus Chicago. He said it's all love for real. Everyone got their own flavor. And if you were brought up in a certain way, then that's going to be what's popping to you.
Bruce mentioned something like that before the show.
Yep. You can't compare the South to the Midwest or the East Coast to the West Coast. And the truth is, I hear you.
You're going to feel the region that you were raised in that you can identify with more so than other regions that you're unfamiliar with and maybe not easily identify with. So that you know, we know that goes hand in hand. But hopefully with hip hop, you know,
You can also be objective.
Right. I mean, you know, we didn't grow up on the West Coast, but you know, we felt the NWAs, we felt the Snoops, we felt the, you know what I'm saying? So when it's and then when it's classic music, it'll transcend it. So like you know, it'll go outside of its region and it'll be loved and embraced everywhere. So that's what we like to think of hip hop anyway.
Facts. As hip hop historians, we gotta try to be as objective as possible and provide some entertainment. Hip hop everywhere, man. We about to get outside the country soon. All right, last one. Fuck your feelings, bitches. That's the name of the person, actually. Fuck your feelings, bitches. He said Lil B is the worst of all time.
Wow. You could be right, because I didn't even think to even... I heard the name,
might be.
And it's always been associated with whackness. So, I mean, I never even thought that hard about him.
Is it worse than Soulja Slim, though? And
you mean Soulja Boy?
Soulja Boy?
Yo, rest in peace, Soulja Slim, because they should never even be mentioned in the same breath. That's just an error on my partner's part.
I see you, Sonia Toombs. She said she got to brush up on her hip hop. A lot of the names we mentioned, she don't even know.
I think Soulja Boy is the biggest, like, clown or wackest, you know what I'm saying? You know, Little B, you have to actually heard of him to know that he's whack.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
He might be. That's a good one. Fuck your feelings. That's a good one. Sonia, thank you for tuning in. That's why we do this show. Hopefully, we can educate people who don't know the certain artists. When you go back and listen to the names, just pull them up on YouTube. The internet is at your fingertips. Find out. It's great hip hop that you don't know. It's great hip hop that I don't know, which is why we need you. Every time we get some of these comments that we don't know, it's a light at the end of the tunnel for us, because that's all we live for, is to find out new music. So thank you, and you're welcome.
We love our hip hop this week.
We love our hip hop.
We appreciate all the comments, all the people that subscribe to us too.
Yeah,
the
man.
Dedicated,
thank you.
loyal fans that been with us from day one and watch most of the shows. We appreciate y'all.
That's it. Peace. We're praying for you, Houston.